You ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. My name is Robert Bannon. You're listening to us on the Broadway Podcast Network or watching us on Broadway World or over here on YouTube. Our social media. Our next, I think they're Irish, everyone. They might be Irish. My last name is Bannon, so I'm Irish too. But they're like really Irish. Like I'm fake Jersey Irish. These brothers, I'm going to call my brother Sean after this and be like, why don't I have Irish brotherhood like the Morgan brothers? Jake and Luke are here. They're talking about The Boat. The Boat is a heartbreaking short film that's qualified for the Academy Awards. They might be Irish filmmaking Oscar winners this time next year. The Morgan brothers, welcome to the show.
Hey. Hi, Robert. How are you?
I'm good. See, I told you they were really Irish.
Top of the morning to you, I should say.
Top of the morning to you, yeah. So, we here in the United States, I think, have a very fake view. Where are you right now, by the way?
We're in the west coast, west of Ireland, Galway, a city called Galway.
So you're really in Ireland right now?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's coming up to 10 o'clock at night. So.
Oh, you guys, I want to come to Ireland. I want to kiss the Blarney Stone. I want to see green things. I want to see less pollution than the United States. I need to come.
Yeah.
Breathe in the air, the fresh air.
I'll probably be allergic. I'll be like, oh no, there's too much nature and fresh air here. So one of you, Luke is Luke, you're a writer and a director, and you have been nominated for other awards. You've been writing. I mean, you won awards as far back as 2015. So you've been at this for a moment. And for you, what was your journey like to becoming a filmmaker?
Well, actually, it's a shared journey, Robert. Myself and Jake have been making films since we were kids.
He's just winning all the awards. I'm getting out.
He's got the hair. I've got the awards. That's the deal. So it's only fair. It's the universe. So we've started making. We were making films since we were kids, and with our parents' big VCR machine, and we just continued that into adulthood, and are very blessed and to be continuing to work together.
So what is it like when you both are, and I guess I'll ask Jake. Jake, what is it like to work with your brother? Like, what is it like to work with your brother? Some people get so along with their brother, and some people are like, I can stomach him for Christmas and then I can't see him for a year. So what's it like, the family dynamic and the business dynamic together?
It's so natural to us now because we're just collaborators and we have been for years and years. So what we have is we have a relationship in work and we have a relationship outside of work. So we have fun together as well, and we can make films together. And the way it works in movies and making films is Luke has his specific things that he takes care of, and I have my specific duties. So we split the things up, and we know each other's territories, and so we're able to just not get on each other's nerves, And
I think when you're in business with your friends, you there's a kind of a pressure to make everything fun all the time, but that pressure doesn't exist when you're two brothers, because it isn't fun all the time. Sometimes you go to work and it's a grind, and yes. I suppose there isn't that same pressure to be like, oh, everything's great, we're having fun all the time. Some days you turn up to work and you just have to get through it, and I think that's something that we're very familiar with and we're good at as well.
Absolutely. I love my brother, so I get it. I understand. And you can't fire him. I mean, like, you're stuck together.
There's no escape.
No, I get it. So this film in particular, of all of the work that you've done, you alluded before about everyone having a role. So before we get into The Boat, which I have to see, I have the screener link. They just sent it to me, and I can't wait to sit down and watch it. I also love anything that's not 4 hours long. So this is made for me. I love a short because I can't even sit through a sitcom that's 30 minutes long. The ADD comes flying in. So what do you each do? What are the roles that you each had, say, in this film in particular?
So I wrote the screenplay and I directed the film. So and then Jake produced the film, and he also wrote the music for the film.
Oh, wow.
He's score composer. So that's the partnership and the rhythm that we tend to fall into together.
Got it. So Luke writes it and directs it, and then Jake is in charge of all of the music and all of the money. That's what it's like.
Who thought that was a good idea?
So, Jake, when he writes this, do you read it and say, like, let's go to town, let's get this financed, let's start planning? How does the timeline work?
Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah. When the script is ready, like sometimes even we did a feature film recently, and we both wrote it together. So sometimes I have input, and I like the brainstorming part of the script, whereas Luke is the wordsmith, so he can put it all down on the page and make it sound really nice and write the dialogue. But I love the kind of ideas and the steps and along the way that the characters take and the arcs and stuff. So, and then once I read the script, usually it's kind of hard because you're coming at the script with like a logistic brain when you're a producer. It's like, how are we going to make this look like the 1930s, or, you know, things like that, where where it's easy to write about, but it's very hard to pull off in reality. So there's a certain amount of that needs to be compromised on and stuff. But yeah, that's how it goes.
For sure. Well, Luke, you gave Jake a run for his money with this one, because this film, we're talking about The Boat, everybody, which is qualified for an Academy Award. Here's a screenshot of it. Looks so gorgeous. The shooting of it is gorgeous. And the story, so from what I understand, Luke, what I understand is it's based on a true story. And leprosy, I think of leprosy as a good little Italian Irish Catholic boy. As like Jesus and the lepers, and like Mother Teresa and the lepers. I don't even think of the world, how it exists. What is it? How did you come up? Where did you find the story?
Well, actually, we were doing some contract work for a charity called the Mission to End Leprosy, which is a charity headquartered in Dublin, Ireland. And Ken Gibson, the CEO of this charity, told us this heartbreaking story about a young girl who got contracted leprosy, which is a disease. It's the oldest known communicable disease in human history. It's a disease that attacks the nerves and the eyesight. People the world over think that leprosy is no longer exists. It's no longer out there, but it is very much out there still in many communities around the world. And so he told us this heartbreaking story about a father that needs to make a choice in order to save, to sacrifice one of his daughters in order to save his other kids. And it broke our hearts. So we decided to, try and channel that emotion into creative means, proactive means, to try and spread awareness for the fact that leprosy is still out there. So we made the boat, and the rest is becoming history.
Really has become, and I don't want to give spoiler alerts out there, but you have to see it to see the journey of what happens with this family and the story. I'm so shook because, like you said, the stigma of leprosy and the joke of leprosy of it being an old disease and all of that stuff. You don't know that over 50 million people have been healed from this. It's something that generations of people are still suffering with. And the Mission to End Leprosy, I looked it up before we chatted today. What an amazing organization that's out here fighting the fight of everything that's going on with it. Jake, how did you cast this movie? Because there's not a lot. This is not Gladiator. There's not 6,000 people in this movie. So really, the performance is so important to making this effective and well done.
Yeah, I think the casting was, as you said, one of the most important things about this, particularly the character of Dukia, the young girl. So what we did was we had line producers. We seeked line producers over in Nepal, because this was all shot on location in Nepal, the home of Everest. So our line producers, they organized an online casting, and so we logged in online, watched a couple of performances, tried to cast it, but we went through a couple of rounds. It still wasn't right, and then at one point, they got back to us and said, "We've got 2 new people we want you to see," and so they auditioned for us. They were a real life father and daughter combo, and they got the parts. So that's who you see in the film, real life father and daughter. And we actually, Luke will tell you about this, but we rewrote the script because of Shri, who plays Raoul in the film. His disposition and his just manner, it was inspiring.
Yeah, he had a very happy face, a very joyful face. So the character that we had in the script, because it's a very sad film, but there's also tremendous joy and hope in the film as well. And I don't know if you've ever seen that film, Life is Beautiful, the Italian film. And yeah, the character in Life is Beautiful is such a happy man, and he's such a fun-loving guy. And Shri really reminded me of this character. So we rewrote the part to suit Shri, and I'm so glad we did, because the fact that that father is, you know, happy-go-lucky, is joyful, is triumphant, makes the ending of the film so much more heartbreaking.
Well, I don't think there is a more poignant ending to a film than Life is Beautiful, when Roberto Benigni walks into that. So if you have some inspiration for that, the Morgan brothers are going to have us sobbing, crying.
Yeah, that's what we do. We just want to make people cry. That's why we got into this game.
You know, and they say that Irish guys don't show a lot of emotion, but you have us here crying away.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Well, we're all poets, you know, so we're very comfortable.
We're afraid of our emotions out loud, but on the page, we love them.
Yeah,
I get it. That's perfect. So I'm fascinated by the idea of a short film. That it's a short. So it's the releases are different for short films than feature films. The audiences are sometimes different for short films than feature films. Tell us, what can we do as average regular people to support this film or see this film?
Well, if you're a member of the Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences, you can vote for the film.
Yes,
please do.
Yeah, and then it's going to be, we submitted it to a number of film festivals, so it's still on its film festival circuit. Short films, that's generally the way that we get filmmakers can connect with audiences, is through film festivals. So we've had a thrilling run at festivals so far. It's been all over the world. It's won awards all over the world. And we're hoping we've got another couple of film festivals that we've submitted the film to that we're waiting to hear back from in the United States. But really, it's going to be publicly available to watch once this Oscar campaign is kind of through. So that's what we're focused on at the moment, is trying to get it in front of as many viewers in the Academy as possible, so that we can bring it to the widest possible platform and network of audiences the world has known.
Yes, that's why the Morgan brothers are here, because our whole audience is just Oscar voters. Like, that's just our
Well, we actually do theater as well.
No, perfect. Yes, and that's it. See, there's a crossover. We're here for it all. I love it.
Yeah.
Luke, I learned this. I don't know if if it's true, but a short film, to qualify for the Academy Awards, either needs to win a certain amount of film festivals, certain qualifying film festivals, or have a run in a theater for a certain amount of time, etc. It's got to be hard. There's a lot of pressure to qualify, because many short films are made, but very few actually qualify. So what was it like when you qualified for the next Academy Awards for next year?
Oh, I mean, we did so in Cork, which is...
It was great the first time, and it was even better the second time.
Yeah, and then the next week, we won another award up in the top of Ireland in Derry. And I was...
Those are both Oscar qualifying awards.
Yeah, but once we had won the award in Cork, we were kind of like, oh yeah, sure, that's great. We don't have to worry about it anymore. So the next week, Jake was at the festival up in Derry, Foyle Film Festival, and I was in a hotel in Portugal.
In the bath,
just out of the bath, you know, had a few glasses of wine. I was like, "There's no way we're going to win. I might as well just."
See, we had to split because we had the film in two separate festivals at the same time. So Luke went to Portugal. I got the sun, and Jake went to Derry. You know, where it was piss and rain.
Yeah. So I looked at my phone just to see, you know, what the time was, and it was this guy's mug, plastered all over my phone in the form of messages saying, "We just won again," you know. Yeah. So it was incredibly surreal.
Yeah, one of the biggest achievements, I'd say, of our careers.
Absolutely. So Jake, when you're it's weird because I'm an American, so I'm here and I'm live outside of New York. I get spoiled by culture and art, but I don't think of the Academy Awards as being something. I know the BAFTA is a big deal. I know the Academy for filmmakers around the world, the Oscars are the Oscars. So at what point in your life did you say, was there a moment where you both allowed yourself to say, one day we're going to go for it? We're making movies and that's the goal?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
like it's like the
absolutely.
Tonys or the Olivier Awards for
Yeah.
theater. It's like, it's the apex of you achieving your potential. It's the barometer of success that's known the world. It's the gold standard, and it's always been an ambition of ours to be represented at the highest level. And we're hoping that we can take our boat, we can row our boat all the way to the to the last
Row
stage.
your boat.
I was gonna say it. Row, row your boat right to Los Angeles, right to the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
And I have to say that sometimes we have people on who are qualified films, and I just would like to thank the Morgan brothers, because as for one of the ways to get on this show, they had to sign a paper that said that they will thank me first.
But because there's so many people in Ireland who have the name Robert Bannon, we're going to be you're the fifth first Robert Bannon we're going to be thanking.
Look, if you could find the Robert Bannon that took my Instagram name, because the @Robert Bannon is not me, and it's someone in Ireland, and I'm pissed about it. I'm mad.
Well, we probably see him down the pub.
So if you see them, I need you to get them in touch with me, because I'm taking my Instagram name back, Morgan Brothers.
Yeah, of course.
Speaking of, how can we follow you all in your career? Is there a place where we could go that we can see about the film or see about what you guys have coming up? If it's online, social media, websites, whatever you got for us, we want to share.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're Morgan Brothers on Facebook. We're Morgan underscore bros on Instagram. And then we're Morgan Creative 1 on Twitter or on X, I suppose, x.com now.
They had to put Morgan underscore bros because someone took their Instagram name too.
Exactly.
No, bros is just way cooler. Morgan
Bros. We're trying to relate to the Gen Alphas.
Who wants to be Morgan Brothers when you can be Morgan Bros?
Morgan Bros. Morgan underscore bros.
Yeah.
And on Instagram, I have to be Robert M. Bannon because I'm not cool enough to be a bro, and they stole my name.
But you just get together with your brother and then create the Bannon Bros.
Look,
the Bannon Bros, there's a ring to that.
It does. It's good. But my brother is a police officer. He doesn't have one artistic bone in his body.
Oh, okay.
But
he's doing something important.
Right. That's fair. That's valid. I'm excited. I know this weekend we have a plan to sit down and watch this. I'm going to send you a message on Instagram, and it won't be Robert M. Bannon, and you'll have to and tell you what I think. I'm fascinated by the story. The movie looks so gorgeous, everybody. So if it's in a film festival, if you're following them and it's going to be in your neck of the woods, you have to watch it, and then you have to stay on top of their career and what's going on, because it'll be streaming somewhere for you to see soon. And is there anything that you learned making this movie that you could speak on of leprosy in itself that they want us to know, or that you've learned about what it's like for people out here who are still suffering from it in this world?
Well, the cure was discovered in Dublin, in Ireland. So there is a cure, and it's actually relatively cheap. It's just that a lot of people don't know that it exists. Particularly people who contract leprosy are generally like living in like poor areas. They don't have. There's some of them are not even documented citizens. So it's very difficult to actually assess how many people have leprosy, and that's kind of part of the mission of the charity. I think there's loads we learned about leprosy along the way. And
we got to visit a leprosy hospital in an Andaman hospital in Nepal, just outside Kathmandu. So it is very easy to treat and very easy to cure and easy to stop, which is why it's such a tragic circumstance that it's out there in the first place. But the Mission to End Leprosy have a plan to end leprosy. It's the clues in the title, and this is our contribution to their efforts to consign the disease to the pages of history for once and for all.
Well, I'm psyched. I think you've made a banger of a film that we can't wait to see, and we'll be watching and looking forward to. I hope to see you next year in Los Angeles. Let's go to the road to the Academy Awards begins now. So congratulations! And if I'm in Ireland, I'm just going to call you up.
Dude,
absolutely.
Yeah. Just walk down the street in Galway and see it.
Start yelling for the Morgan brothers, and I know
everybody knows us. Yeah, you'll just start rolling their eyes, and they'll be like, "Oh, those Egypts, they're that way."
Thank you both so much for spending time with us and staying up late tonight to hang out with me. I appreciate you all so much.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.